SA 500 audit evidence. As per SA 500, audit procedures are of two types: risk assessment procedure, further audit procedure. Further audit procedures are again divided into two categories: test of controls, test of details. They both are used to obtain sufficient and appropriate audit evidence. SA 505 external confirmation. There are three steps which an auditor need to perform as per SA 505. First one, ask management. First step, ask management. If management do not respond, then there will be a suspicion. In such a case, evaluate genuinity of the reason. If the reason is reasonable, stop the audit procedures. If the reason is not reasonable, then perform alternate audit procedures. If the management has responded, go to step 2. Step 2, design confirmation and design type of confirmation secret. Confirmation is of two types: positive confirmation, negative confirmation. Next, what is positive confirmation? Confirming party agrees or disagrees. If silent means disagreement. Silent means disagreement in case of a positive confirmation. In case of negative confirmation, confirming party disagrees. In case of a negative confirmation, silent means agreement. That means if the other party is silent, it means he agrees to the matter. Step number 3, confirmation received. If there is an exception, confirming party disagreeing with the information, it is always negative. If there is no response, in case of positive confirmation case, no response means silent means disagreement. In case of negative confirmation case, silent means agreement. That means party agrees to the matter. Auditor seeks debtor's confirmation in order to address which assertion? Existence. Auditor need to check existence. In such a case, he seeks debtor's confirmation. Next, if auditor seeks blank positive confirmation with debtors, it affects which assertion? It is to check valuation assertion. SA 520 analytical procedures. Procedures are of two types: for comparison and for relationship. For comparison, to compare current year and previous year, to compare industry standards with company financial information, to compare budgets with actuals. For relationship, to check the economic conditions, trends and ratios, financial information with non-financial information. Next, analytical procedures are applied at all stages, that is at planning, execution, conclusion stage. Degree of disaggregation. Example, debtors aging report, non-financial information. Obtaining debtors aging report in order to ascertain which assertion? Valuation. We will check valuation. SA 530 audit sampling. Applying procedures on less than 100% population and drawing conclusions on whole 100% population is called as audit sampling. Characteristics of population from which samples are selected. Hint is CAR. Complete, appropriate, that is relevant and reliable. Methods of sampling selection. Statistical method, non-statistical method. Statistical method is based on mathematics and a non-statistical method is based on professional judgment. Statistical method is again divided into three categories: random sampling, systematic sampling or interval sampling, monetary value sampling or monetary value weighted sampling. Random sampling, random number of tables. Random sampling is again divided into two categories: stratified random sampling, simple random sampling. Stratified random sampling is used if prediction exists and change in number or profit of origin, point of origin. In such a case, stratified random sampling is used. When there is a change in number or point of origin, stratified random sampling is used. Next, in case of non-statistical sampling, there are two types of non-statistical sampling: haphazard sampling and block sampling. Haphazard sampling means no basis for selection. Haphazard sampling means random sampling plus conscious basis. We will select randomly in case of haphazard sampling. Block sampling. Block sampling means selecting block with same characteristics or traits. Internally, random sampling is used in case of block sampling. In case of block sampling, internally, random sampling is used. That means we will select randomly. Risk. Risk is of two types: sampling risk, non-sampling risk. Sampling risk, a test of controls. That is, controls are effective, but they actually are not. we have given controls are effective. We have given the report as controls are effective, but actually they are not effective. In such a case, test of details will be low, a wrong opinion will be given. It is an audit risk because of over reliance. Next, controls are not effective, but actually they are. We have given the report as controls are not effective, but actually controls are effective. In such a case, test of details will be increased and it is an additional work burden. This is because of under reliance. Next, sampling risk at test of details. Material misstatements does not exist, but actually it does. We have given that material statements, material misstatements are not there, but actually material misstatements exist. In such a case, we express inappropriate audit opinion. It is an audit risk. Next, at sampling risk at test of details is material misstatements does exist, but actually does not. We have given in the report that material misstatements are existing, but actually there are no material misstatements. In such a case, it is an additional work burden. Next, non-sampling risk, that is error, interpretation fault, detection risk. Factors influencing sample size. Expected rate of error is directly proportional to sample size. Tolerable rate of error is inversely proportional to sample size. Desired level of confidence is directly proportional to sample size. Risk of material misstatements is directly proportional to sample size. Evaluation results of audit sampling. Auditors shall evaluate results of sampling and whether the use of sampling has provided a research basis for conclusion. Best estimate is greater than tolerable rate of deviation. Sampling has not provided appropriate basis for conclusion. If best estimate is less than equals to tolerable rate of deviation, then population being misstated is high. That means misstatements in the population is high when best estimate is less than equals to tolerable rate of deviation. Anomalous means buffer. Best estimate means projected rate of misstatements plus anomalous rate of misstatements, if any. SA 320, materiality can be qualitative as well as quantitative. Materiality equals to benchmark into percentage. Benchmark, if inventory is 5 lakhs, percentage of a difference, materiality is 1%. In such a case, materiality amount will be 5,000. Factors considered to select a materiality. Hint is Venus. V, volatility. E, elements of financial statements. N, nature of entity. U, uses of financial statements. S, structure of entity, hierarchy of the entity. O, other significant transactions or events. Percentage is matter of a professional judgment. Here, materiality percentage is decided based on professional judgment. Materiality determination is a matter of professional judgment. Professional judgment is required in man's cases. M, materiality. A, audit risk and nature, timing, extent of audit procedures. S, sufficiency and appropriateness of audit evidence. Materiality and audit risk are inversely proportional. SA 550, related parties. For related parties, disclosures needs to be made as per Ind AS 24 and disclosures need to be made as per section 188, 186 and 189 also as per Companies Act 2013. These are the legal requirements for disclosures pertaining to related parties. SA 550, audit procedure to identify and disclose related parties and related party transactions. Next, in CARO also we have mentioned about related parties. Related parties are of two types: applicable financial reporting framework defined parties and applicable financial reporting framework not defined parties. So related parties are generally of two types: defined parties, not defined parties. SA 560, subsequent events, is similar to Ind AS 10. Next, SA 570, going concern. It is a fundamental assumption. Events or circumstances which exist and may create significant doubt in entity's ability to continue as going concern, that events need to be disclosed. Going concern questionable means it is the indicator for present situation. Next, we need to check the indicators for present situation. There is a company, its going concern is doubtful. Then accounting need to be done in cash basis instead of accrual basis, and modified emphasis of matter paragraphs has to be given by modifying the audit report. Next, SA 580, written representation, always in writing. Not an written representation is not a substitute for audit procedures. Next, written representation only supports the audit evidence. They are the substitute, not a substitute for audit procedures, but this supports audit evidence. SA 315 follows zero date process. Here, as per SA 315, risk is of two types: business risk, financial statement risk. Enquiry alone does not serve the purpose for audit evidence. Enquiry with observation or inspection serves the purpose for audit evidence. They can be considered. Enquiry alone cannot be considered as audit evidence.